Hey there, my friends. Why am I here today? Well, I realized that it is September 27th. I'd not picked my October TBR yet. Now, the last couple of months, I have used like the TBR jar to pick or some other methods, and that's been working out well. But in September, I picked sort of an overly ambitious TBR, and I only finished like a little over half of it. So I was looking at the books I had left, and I'm actually going to roll a couple of them over into October because I still really want to read them. Then if you watched my video last month, you know that I now have a couple of categories that I'm trying to fill out each month. A book that I'm going to either read or unhaul, one of the books from my holiday books list because it's overflowing, and then two from an ebook TBR specifically that I want to try and get to before the end of the year. So with those 4 additional books, plus 3 rolling over, we're already at 7. I decided just to look at my actual shelves and pick out a couple more books that I thought I was in the mood for, that felt sort of October-y to me. So I'm not going to use the TBR jar at all this month. I did use a random wheel generator for those other categories, and I'll share those with you in a minute. I took screen recordings when I did them. And then I'll just share everything that's on my TBR. So it's not going to be quite as exciting as previous months, but I'm going to show you everything I hope to read in October. Again, I have a 12 book TBR, so there's no way I'll end up finishing them all, but I like having that variety to sort of choose from. And I feel like they're all things I'm excited for this month, so it should be fun. First one is the Read It or Unhaul It book. So I'm gonna put in the screen recording here where I pulled from the list, and we'll let that go for a second. And the winner is The Mortal Word by Genevieve Cogman. This is book 5 in the Invisible Library series, and the first 4 books in the series I absolutely loved. I just sort of fell off reading this series at some point, and I own them all. It's like 8 books long, so there's like 4 more I need to read, and I just haven't gotten to them. So I'm really excited to actually finally get into book 5 here. So hopefully this will be a read it and not an unhaul it, because then I'll have problems with the rest of the series. But yeah, that's the first book on our TBR this month. Next, I picked a book from my, again, overflowing list of holiday books. And these are, some are physical, some are ebooks, some are audiobook. I've got them all on this Christmas list. And so I used another random name generator, and we'll let that run for a second here. And the winner was The Christmas Swap by Sandy Barker. Well, this one I had to look up because it has a cute cover, and it must have sounded cute when I picked it, but I couldn't remember what it was about. So the 3 main characters, Chloe, Jules, and Lucy, meet at like age 11, and they stay in touch. And 22 years later, so they're now 33, they decide to swap Christmases. Like, they go with each other's families for Christmas. So one goes to Oxfordshire, England, one goes to Melbourne, Australia, and one goes to Colorado in the US. It sounds really cute, so I'm excited to read that one too. Next, we have the 2 books off of my like ebooks to read before the end of the year list. So we'll let the random generator go for the first one. And it landed on To Cage a God by Elizabeth May. Now, Elizabeth May wrote the Falconer trilogy, which I absolutely love. So I was really excited to read another book by her. I pre-ordered this when it came out last year and just never actually read it. So I'm excited to do that. This is about sisters Galena and Sarah, who are like magically bound to deities, like gods. Their mom connected them to these gods, and they are now like living weapons that were raised to overthrow the empire that they live in. I don't know much more than that, but it sounds exciting, and I really liked the Falconer trilogy, so I'm hopeful this will be really great. Let's pick the second one from this ebook list. All right, and it landed on What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez, which is another one I'm really excited to read. This is the first in a duology, I believe, and it's about a girl whose parents have died. She inherits their fortune and a mysterious guardian. Her parents were archaeologists, so she sails off to Cairo, kind of looking to investigate their deaths a little bit. But it's described as The Mummy meets Death on the Nile, and I just think that is, I've been waiting to read this one, so I'm happy to have the excuse. I kind of love having these wheels pick my books for me to a degree, because I have so many books that I want to read that anytime I have to sort of like pick, I get like overwhelmed by too many good choices. So if I at least make a list and then just let the universe pick for me, it feels like it's less pressure for me, and it's almost always something I'm excited to read. So that's been working out really well. Really, really hoping that before Wednesday, which is October 1st, I will finally be finishing book 5 in Brandon Sanderson's Wormlight Archives. I've been listening to Wind and Truth for almost 2 months, and I mean, there were gaps in there. It's not continuous, but it was like a 63-hour audiobook, so it was a significant, chunky book. But I have like 6 hours left, and I should be able to do that by Wednesday, so I'm super excited because that is the last book that is currently out in the series, so it's like a big accomplishment. And then I'm gonna take a break from Brandon Sanderson just to sort of clear my brain. I've got 2 audiobooks here that I want to listen to in October, and then I'm probably gonna jump into another Brandon Sanderson book. Not Mistborn, although that's on my list. I think I'm gonna do Warbreaker, because it's a standalone. First audiobook that I plan to listen to is Do Your Worst by Rosie Denon. This one is a romance. I'm reading a contemporary romance right now, and it's been like a little palate cleanser for my brain, and so it's been feeling good. I want to keep that feeling going. This one is about an occult expert and a disgraced archaeologist who end up together at a Scottish castle and become enemies with benefits. And I just think that sounds exactly what I'm looking for right now, so I'm excited for that one. And then the one I want to listen to after that is Servant of Earth by Sarah Hawley. This one I just keep hearing over and over and over how amazing it is, and I am excited. So this one is about a world where there's like an underground fae realm, and the main character is a human who's been forced into servitude, and part of her new circumstances is that she is being forced to help her mistress undertake these deadly trials. So, you know, I just think that sounds really good, and the reviews are spectacular, so I'm excited. I'm just gonna keep saying how excited I am. Like I said, these are all books that I'm like really anxious to read, so it should be a great month. Again, there's 12 books I'm mentioning here, so I probably will not be able to read all of them in October, but I think whatever chunk I do get to read, I'll be happy with. Carryover books, the ones that were on my September list that I just have not had time to get to. And like I said, I'm finishing up an audiobook now. I've got a physical book that I'm partway through that I'm hoping to finish before Wednesday, and the ebook that I'm partway through that I'm hoping actually to finish tonight. So once I finish those 3 books, I still have like 5 maybe on the list from September, and that's just not gonna happen. 3 of them that I want to carry into October are Charm by Tracy Wolff, and again, this is in the Crave series, and this book is, it's not a standalone, but it is sort of a like interlude. There's a period of missing time in the previous book, and this delves into that gap. Okay. I love the Crave series. They're not the best written books, but they are entertaining, and it's like candy for my brain, and I'm super excited to get to this one. The Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. It's October. I have to have at least one witchy book, and this one seems like a really cozy witchy book, so I definitely wanted to get a chance to read this one. And then the last one is A Vow of Embers by Soraya Wilson. This is the one that I was supposed to review this month, but I am not forcing myself to read something, especially if I need to review it. It's my last review book for however long, because I decided to stop reviewing formally for now. And I don't want sort of the pressure to taint the reading experience, so I just wasn't in the mood for it. But I do want to still get it done because it was a book that I won through Goodreads, so I do want to review it as soon as possible. So it's on my October list because 9 wasn't enough, and I wanted to have a couple more reads of like the newer books that I've gotten. I went to my shelves and looked through, and so the first one that I really want to read in October is Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. This one is, every time I hear the description, it just sounds so creepy cool. It is about a family that lives on a really remote island just off the coast of Antarctica, and like super remote, like they're the only people on this island, and a body washes up on the shore. I'm so intrigued, so I'm definitely gonna read this one. The next one, because I've really found this year that I am really in like a dark academia gothic fantasy mood. Like that seems to be my jam this year. I want to keep that roller coaster of fantastic reading going. So I want to read Nightshade by Autumn Woods. It's about a girl who takes a scholarship at a prestigious, I'm not going to be able to say that word, a very fancy Scottish university. Not just for the academic prowess, but because she's also there trying to prove that her parents were murdered by like this tycoon. Along the way, she meets this guy's son, and they are paired together for like academic projects. They have to spend time together. She doesn't want to like him, but she's starting to, and she's also being tormented by a stalker at the same time. So there's just lots of elements there that I like. Dark academia, Scottish university, like I'm all in. So in the very last book, one I've been wanting to get to, and October just seems like the perfect time for this book, is Bless Your Heart by Lindy Ryan. I love this cover. I love it. That was what grabbed me in the store. I had to pick it up. I had to read about it. And then I was like, I'm all in. It is set in Texas in 1999, and it is about this family, the Evans women, who run the funeral parlor in their town in Texas and also hunt vampires. So I just think that's gonna be great. My dog is going bananas right now. All right, that is my TBR for October. As I've said more than once, I won't end up reading all of these, but I'm excited to have this list to choose from through the month. So I will let you guys know at the end of October how I did. Want to know, what are you planning to read in October? Are you a like horror spooky vibes October? Are you a cozy fall fantasy October? What's like your number one read that you want to get to this month? Leave a comment. Okay, I will talk to you guys soon.